Hey everybody, Jason Burmis here, and I guess Prince Andrew had a story to tell. Now, unlike other YouTubers or critics in general, I know this has been around a couple days, but I actually wanted to watch the entire thing, and it's almost an hour long. It's 50 minutes long. Before I even made any kind of comment on it, I wanted to know if there was any worthwhile information in this, aside from the obvious lies and legal jargon and Johnny nonsense that was going to be spewed by the man behind me, Prince Andrew. And before we get into all of that, I wanna say this was extremely over the top bad. Washington Post headline: Prince Andrew's Epstein interview roundly panned. Nuclear explosion level bad, which it was. Okay, but remember, we're going to get into some of the juicier details here. Prince Andrew sparks near universal condemnation with TV interview. CNN. Let's continue. Even the New York Times, I know they block it off. Prince Andrew talks about his ties to Jeffrey Epstein, and Britain is appalled. Prince Andrew, you know what? Before we even get into some of the nonsense he said, here's some of the breaking news surrounding this. It's so bad that Prince Andrew, his PR advisor, quits over BBC Epstein interview. I think his name's Jason Stein. Where is he? Yes, Jason Stein started as the Prince's communications secretary in September amid allegations that Andrew had slept with American woman Virginia Giuffre when she was 17, something the Prince denied in the BBC interview. Now, before we get into all the ridiculous denials and the Johnny nonsense surrounding this, at the very end of the interview, for instance, he talks about how, she asked him basically to, flat out condemn the guy and all the relationships and that they had any relationship. And he says no matter what, their paths would have crossed and they did some good together. Now, why is this important? Well, Prince Andrew, amongst other things, is the arms dealer in the United Kingdom. He's part of these untouchable establishments that the media would tell you, oh, the royal family doesn't have any power. Bullshit. This guy's untouchable. He knows he's untouchable. That's how he does an interview like this. He legally didn't comment on anything other than the fact that he saw no evidence of this. He talked about Epstein's house being like a railway station, his mansion being a railway station. And she hammered him pretty hard, by the way. She hammered him with things like there was no way anybody around him wouldn't know about this activity. And let's just be very, very clear right now. We only have the accusations of Roberts on the public record and parts of those accusations. We're still waiting for another 10,000-page dump that the media is largely ignoring. So there's all of that. There's all that. Now, getting back to the deals and the people that Prince Andrew was able to be put together by Epstein, he talked about that. He had an incredible ability to bring people together at these dinner parties or 4-day or 8-day events or whatever, whether they were on his island or beyond. And by the way, he totally admits to being in every single place. Even the apartment where the picture is taken with him and Virginia Roberts, but we'll get into that. We've already debunked the fact that he says that's a fake photograph. I mean, he talks about it being a picture of a picture of a picture. He then talks about it in this, that it's definitely a photograph of him. He doesn't even deny that the girl's really her on his side. Talks about the hand possibly being photoshopped and faked. Really, I mean, it's that bad. And she's persistent. She goes after him a few times on this to try to make it as clear as possible. And the nonsense that's put out there. And he's like, there is no way to tell whether it's real or not. That's what I'm saying. Oh, well, that's definitely a picture of me, but where my hand is placed. And she's like, well, Virginia Roberts is right in the back. Well, I don't remember ever going upstairs in that house. I mean, it's bad. There's one point, and we're going to get into this, where he claims that because she said they were out dancing and they were sweating together, it would be impossible because he had a medical condition in which he could not sweat. I'm sorry. I had to just shut up for a second there, because if that doesn't, listen. Prince Andrew's never been like a super fit guy. You know, he used to be better shape when he was younger. He's never been a huge guy. But yes, you sweat. That's I can't even believe that was brought in. I mean, talk about nuclear level bad. It is. It's absolutely nuclear level bad. Now she hammers on him for the 4-day dinner party after he's already been convicted, and he acts like, well, I was there. I had to be a man. I had to be. He talks about being honorable over and over again in this interview. He uses the term honorable. That's how untouchable these people are. Andrew also says that, she asked him if there was pressure put on him to, basically speak out now. And he's like, no, or break off the relationship. It was probably a combination of both of those. And he's like, well, no, I've had conversations with my people and then people in the royal family, but I did it. I thought it was the right time and the right thing to do. It's really, really bad. So let's get into some of this. Let's see. He says, first of all, one of the doubts on the photographs is that, wait, I don't hug. Listen, I'm not a PDA guy. I don't do public displays of affection. I never saw Jeffrey Epstein, who, by the way, was a friend, but not a close friend. And, she even confronts him that people that worked on Epstein's Island said that they saw him there 3 to 4 times a year. And he said max he would see him 3 to 4 times a year, and usually it would be amongst several different addresses. So it wouldn't just be on the island. I mean, this guy perjured himself a ton. A ton. He was even asked about Virginia Roberts' claim that the 3rd time that she had sex with him, it was among, I believe she was either one of 8 or there were 8 other girls there. Oh, no, never, no. I never saw, in retrospect, he keeps talking about. In retrospect, now after a lot of thinking, now I could see how this was. Give me a break, Andrew. All right? And Prince Andrew said his inability to sweat is evidence he didn't have sex with one of Jeffrey Epstein's victims. If you really want to see somebody lie, look uncomfortable while he lies. There's one point where he says, no, never, and he must have blinked 4 times in less than 5 seconds. I'm sure some of what is it, Body by Bombard or something like that? They should do stuff. It's pretty unbelievable. And by the way, one of the other things, okay, he talks about the prince described the behavior of Epstein, who sexually abused dozens of girls and young women, as unbecoming. But, in the interview, he talks about basically the sexual prowess of a man, basically going out and getting women as a positive experience. And that because it's such a positive experience, that obviously he remembers all those, without saying it outright, those experiences where he conquered women, where he was the big macho man banging chicks, basically. And he has no recollection of Virginia Roberts, let alone the 3 times. So it must not have happened, since he doesn't remember it. Because it's a positive thing in society to be, Mr. Hey now, get over here, baby. That's also in the interview. Again, it's also in the interview. So there's a couple of media outlets that are at least picking up the headline of the sweats. He couldn't sweat in attempt to debunk Epstein accuser's claim. He wasn't, after suffering his sweating all over me. Yeah. I don't sweat. Or I don't sweat at the time. I didn't sweat at the time. Yeah, and he talks about how he sweats now. So the only person, and this shows how, rigged the whole system is, that's, praising Prince Andrew for his tell-all interviews, is his ex-wife, Fergie. But here's the thing, even after all this and, the 2010 videos and him being with several young girls there, all that stuff, he's able to deny it. And, people come to his side. He's not going to, I'd be shocked if he does any time, guys. It's the sad truth of this matter is that there is a predator class that is above the law. This man abused many, many girls. And I don't know that he's ever going to be brought into any type of a courtroom at all. The royal family is a protected class. In fact, the suicide is asked about. And he's like, well, I have to go with the coroner. I know there's something with the bone and but he just says, he refers to the suicide first before being asked the question that some people don't believe that he's killed himself. He even kind of chuckles about when she's like, well, he's dead now. And he's like, oh, yeah, yes. I mean, is that funny to anybody? I wanted to see other people go down. So, once again, go check it out for yourself. I don't want to play clips and possibly, get a strike or this taken down because this is a pretty high-profile interview that the BBC's put out. Go watch it yourself if you want to see somebody who lies. But again, at the very end, he can't even condemn his relationship with Epstein because remember, they were doing a lot of business together that he doesn't go into specifics about, and he can't go into specifics about because of legal advice. Keep that in consideration. Guys, thumbs this video up if you're new and you like this information. We do deep dives, we do walk and talks, we do document breakdowns, we do stories like this on Epstein. Over 100 plus videos on Epstein well before he was arrested. I've been talking about him for over a decade. We actually did a throwback video where we went over some stuff about sex trafficking that I was doing 7, 8, 9, 10 years ago. So please check that out as well. All my documentary films free on this channel in the documentaries playlist. So again, thumbs it up, share it. Please subscribe. Join the Burmese Brigade. I want to hit 40,000 before December 1st. That's the goal. Loose Change, Final Cut, Fabled Enemies, Invisible Empire, A New World Order Defined, and Shade the Motion Picture are all free right here, right now. We're doing it 3 to 7 times a day. We do Ask Me Anythings. We do big interviews on top of that. We talk Bilderberg, Bezos, Assange, tomorrow's Mixed Martial Mindset with John Fitch. We do that once a week. It's more than just MMA breakdowns, but we're branching out, and we're branching out because of you, $5, $10, $15. It means the world to me. That's how we're keeping it going. So if you can donate, it's also a great way to support this truly independent channel where no strings are pulled. It's just how I feel and what I think, and it goes beyond that left-right paradigm that so many people are stuck in. Guys, I love you, and I will see you on the flip side.